Lewis Huckstep, thanks for dropping by, brother.
Brother, it's always good to see you. It's like it's like those friendships where you don't chat a lot, but when you catch up, it's like it's meaningful, it's deep, the conversations get value out of it. Like I learn a ton just hanging out with you.
Mate,
so
likewise.
It's cool just seeing the moves that you're making. And yeah, mate, I don't know where this is gonna go. So let's flow and let's have some fun.
Mate, my energy is to like really help a lot of people transform lives, business owners, entrepreneurs, and I think it's interesting, like when we met, I don't know if you remember, but you had the gym at the time, and man, I called you up. I had organized a meeting somehow with someone, and I was on a call with you. And this was like, I would say 9 years ago.
Are you selling me something? Did you pitch
Probably
me
isogenics, man. I know you're doing another life. We're all in.
Oh, the cult.
But I always, every time I met someone, I was like, man, I think they're going to be perfect in my business. So we chatted, and I was like, man, this guy, inspiring, purpose-led. And for me, back then, I didn't really have my shit together. And I was like, man, this guy, gyms, owners, like, he's smashing it. Yeah. And then I saw a big shift in you, bro. And then you went from, like, gyms. You had, like, everything on paper that, like, it would be the perfect, successful life. Yeah. And now you've, like, shifted gears and you've gone into, like, building a very successful brand. Yeah. My question is, man, why? Like, why was that shift? Like, what made you make that shift? And what's purpose look like for you now?
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's just when you mentioned that period of like flashback to like another life. It was such a different life back then. For me, I joke at my events is there's a spectrum of humans. On one side of the spectrum, you've got spiritual humans. They've got their crystals on, like I do. They meditate, levitate, they sage everything. And these people are generally very fulfilled and happy and present, but they're generally broke as shit. They can't pay their bills. Yep. And then you've got the other side where it's your hustlers, where they achieve, grind, Alex Hormozy. They just love achieving goals. These people generally will achieve externally, but they're very unfulfilled internally. And for me, it's blending those worlds together. So when we met back then, I was the overachiever. So I was like, I will prove my worth to the world by achieving as much as I can. So 3 gyms by 22, had that on my Instagram bio just to show the world how worthy I was. But it was like, it's that mirage you never arrive at. And I know, Jack DeLosa, and I worked with him a while ago as well. And he uses that mirage as the example of like, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when. And it's when you're using that fuel source of I'm not enough or I'm not worthy or I'm whatever. And it gets you started. For most people, it's going to be the starting fuel source. But Maslow's hierarchy of needs, when you have your sort of survival, pay rent and get by needs not met, you'll do what you need to do. Like use what you've got, like Alex Hormozy says, use what you've got. But once you get basic level of like finances, safety, food, shelter for yourself and your family, it's like, what's next? And that's where that you go from that desperation to inspiration fuel. And that's where purpose really comes into it. And that's, so I hit a breaking point with the gyms, gave one away, sold another one, hired myself out of the third one. And then I was earning 2 to 3 grand a week and for an hour's worth of work because I had a really solid team in place. And then I had some space. Obviously it wasn't financially like abundant, but enough to live and not have to worry about the bills. And then I just got deeper into the inner work, trauma, purpose, healing. I like the quote, when what you do is the greatest expression of who you are, you do your life's best work. Yeah. So that for me is knowing what your purpose is, which is an expression of your core wound, giving that back to the world, humanity, at whatever degree you want to, whether it's your family, your community, your country, the whole humanity, and get paid to do it. And that's the part where I do have that achiever side of me. I'm all about money. I love making money, love putting money into investments. So I've got that tactical strategy side to me, but now I've leaned into more of the fulfillment part where it's like, for the next couple of days, I've got nothing on my calendar because I'm running an event in 3 days. And it's like the old me, like, I need to keep working. I need to keep making money. I need to keep making sales. So yeah, it's blending those two worlds together, man. And that's where I've been for the last sort of like 3 years now and having a great time.
So when I was working on a yacht, I was working for a billionaire family.
Is that when you were the chef?
When I was a chef and the PT, personal trainer. Yep. So funny.
To see like the different like versions of each other. It's so cool.
Man, it's so interesting. Yeah. So for me, like there was a turning point for me. I was cooking for this family. There's actually a photo on my Instagram. Like I was doing meditation and breath work for them.
That's cool.
And I was like, I was on the boat and I was cooking for everyone. And there was a point where I was like, okay, I'm doing all this work. I'm running around, ordering food in Fiji, like stressed to the max. And there was a point where I was really late on a meal, so I went upstairs, I sprinted upstairs to cook everything, and then I didn't get the recognition I needed, and I thought to myself, okay, I would spend the whole day working, slaving away. And when I say the whole day, I mean like 5 a.m. till midnight.
Real grind.
Like 5 a.m. till like 2 a.m. Yeah. Like it's intense. To get one smile or one sense of validation from like a family that, they're making $300 million a quarter.
Wow.
And for me, I was like, if my whole life will revolve around that, for me, it's not worth it, right? So for me, there was a really clear point in my life. I was like, that's the breaking point. That's the turning point. That's the point of like, this is my old life. Yeah. And it's very clear that was the point of like, I'm now different. I'm now new. But I'm curious, like for yourself, everything leading up to like leaving the gym, was it the same thing, like a turning point? Like you looked in the mirror one day and thought to yourself, hey, I'm done. This is me, no more. Or there was like kind of like a gradual thing that built up.
I was about to ask you the same question of what.
Mate, we're on the same level, man. We hypnosis, dude.
I'm going to ask it first and I'll answer your question. What was the thought that made you say, I'm out of here, or I've got to change, or what was that question or inner dialogue for you?
So what happened actually, right? So I went through that experience and I made the decision, but I didn't stand on it that much. And I kind of kept telling myself the idea of like staying with the family, with the resume, things will build, you know, like I perceived myself as like a chef, personal trainer, worked in the 4 best restaurants in the whole entire world. I was working for billionaires on super yachts. Like that was my, you know, my label, right? That was the Instagram bio, you know what it's like. And then for me, there was a point where I worked from the 21st of December all the way through to the 10th of January, 18-hour days.
Wow.
And it was Christmas. I remember it was exactly Christmas morning. We're meant to have the whole time off. I worked Christmas from like, literally from like maybe 5 a.m., cooked for the whole family till midnight. Boxing Day, New Year's Day, everything. And then they said, we're going to have time off on the 4th of January. And I was like, yeah, sick. I booked some tickets, going to go to Byron, connect with friends, you know, just do my thing. And then I got a message of like, hey, you actually need to work from the 4th of January till the 10th of January. And then it got to the point where I ended up working like 15, 20 days, like back to back, 18-hour days. And then one morning, like I think it was like the 9th, my last day, I got up just to go relax, spend my day off, and I couldn't get up, dude. So it felt like there was this weight on my chest, this weight on my heart. And basically, I felt like I was like having a heart attack. It felt very tight for me back then. And I couldn't get up. All I remember is like I tried to get up. I tried to go to the next, like the captain, he wasn't there. I went to the next boat. There was a guy who I still chat with today. He took me to the hospital. And it's like my blood pressure was all-time high from stress. So then for me, I was thinking to myself, okay, you know, I was making 2-3K a week and I was working 18-hour days for like a family. I wasn't paying rent. I had a really good life on paper. But my health point, that was the point of like, I need to make a change. Wow, okay. And it's interesting, you know, like I think the biggest thing for me now is managing people, managing stress, managing time, energy. But nothing will take me back to that place because that was intense, dude. So for me, it was like, that was the moment I clearly had in my mind of like, that was enough. So what was your moment, dude?
One lesson I just came up and then I'll answer it is I like that story so beautiful because for me as well, because I've got my version of that chapter as well. And every successful person I've seen has had their version of that chapter. For me, it's reassuring knowing that you've got that gear in you when you need to. So if shit hit the fan, you could turn it on. Yep. You don't want to live there. But if it's like, say all of my audience disappeared tonight and I've got no leads and I've got to build it up and whatever. It's like, I know I can go back into kill mode and I will make it happen. Yeah. Again, you don't want to live there, but it's cool knowing in the back of your head, I've got it in me. Yeah. If I had to provide for my wife, my family and make it happen, I've got it in me. But then you want to build the life where you don't necessarily have to do that, but you've got it in you. So, that was cool hearing that, man. Thank you for the story. My moment, there's a lot of like moments along the way. The one that stands out for me when you ask the question, I share it in my book actually. I had the 3 gyms and I built it on sand. Like it was all like, I was like the dancing monkey where I would get all the leads and the sales and I'd have team at them, but the team was like reliant on me. I was waking up at 3:30 to take classes at one of the gyms. I'd do all the leads and sales and management shit during the day, drive to another one of the gyms and run the classes in the afternoon, set up, pack up for the next day, go back to bed, get home around 10 p.m., go to bed, repeat Monday to Saturday, insane. And Sunday like recharge and just do all the leads to get prepared for the week coming. And I remember I hit a breaking point where I was like, I just can't handle this. We started to have like cracks with the team members weren't sticking around, they were leaving. And I had a business partner with one of them, 2 of them, sorry, but with one of them, it started to like, hey, look, we're not seeing eye to eye. Like we're trying to make different decisions. We're 50-50, but he keeps overpowering what I believe to move the business forward. And we said, look, why don't we just sell it? Like we've had enough. It's not working. We're button heads. Let's just sell the thing. Let's not ruin the relationship. I said, yeah, let's do it. We found a buyer, got the buyer, got the, it took like 12 months of due diligence to sign the contract. We signed the contract and there was a cooling off period. And 2 days before the cooling off period, I remember I got the phone call because the guy called me and his name is Guy, ironically. Answer the phone. He's like, mate, this business is not what you told us it was. We're pulling out the deal. We're not taking this piece of shit type of thing. And I was like living off stress. Like my feels like that battery level on your phone was like 1% all the time. And I was just like so stressed, timid, because I'm like, this is like going to relieve all the pressure. Yeah. I can then take the two, rebuild it properly, all this thing. So it was very much like my lifeline to get out of this. And I just remember getting that phone call and I just dropped down to my knees. I was in my office back when I used to live in Hope Island. And I remember just like freezing, dropping to my knees. I just started crying because I was just so stressed. I'm like, fuck, I've lost this. I called my business partner straight away. And I was like, bro, he just called me, like he's pulling out. He's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, mate, just take the gym. So it was probably worth, on paper, with all the revenue, about 200 grand, my 50%, I just gave it to him. I said, man, just take it. I can't handle it. I'm broken here. My relationship's on the rocks because all your personal life is like put to the side. And that was probably one of the bigger catalysts that got me to shift, because from there, gave away that gym. Then I had two, then COVID happened. So I went through COVID with two physical brick and mortar gyms, had to fire 90% of my team in one day. And because I love my team, I care about my team, it was like heartbreaking to do that. Made it through COVID, but then that conversation with the phone call that like shifted me to eventually get to where I am now, where it's like, what's a purposeful life? What's an inspired life look like? Where you do what you love, you stretch yourself, you have goals, you make money, you do the things, but you do it from inspiration, not desperation. Because back then I was still like, so like attached to, I'm the gym owner, I've got 3 gyms, I can't give away one of my gyms, I'm going backwards. And it's like the ego is just so attached to the external achievement. So that was one of the biggest ones. That's the one that normally comes up when I get that question.
Man, that's powerful.
Powerful.
So was it kind of like a stepping stone of like what you're doing now? Was like when you left your gyms, was it a vision of like the brand that you've created now? Or was it kind of like things had to happen to get where you are now?
I believe everyone has a vision. And I believe if you listen to the breadcrumbs of inspiration, you always will end up there. Most people just don't listen.
Exactly.
They're living in stress, fight or flight. They're not aware of it. They're not conscious of it. But if you listen to the intuition and you follow that inspirational threads, you will actually end up where your vision is and where your destiny is. And I remember after that phone call, I gave away one of the gyms, went through COVID with 2 gyms, navigated that. And then I had another business partner with one of the other gyms. And that business partner wanted to sue the franchise I was a part of. So then I'm stuck in the middle and I'm like, here we go again. So I ended up selling that gym. So we ended up selling it back to the franchise and I got peanuts for it. Got like 40 grand for it and it was not worth that. But I want to leave. I want to get out of this. Then I had the one gym and then I was like, okay, hire it out. I had a great team there because that was where my main spot was during that period of time. So I had a great team there. Client base was good. We're growing consistently. Revenue was consistent. And I'm like, okay, now I'm hired out of this. Now I've got some time and space. And I remember the franchisor gave me like a sales pitch to come back into the gym because the gym, like we took off like a rocket and it was like all of hype and motivation though. It wasn't like systems and like actual business structures. And he had issues with myself, with other franchisees. Like I said, my business partner was suing the franchise and there was like all these lawsuits going on. And he gave me a pitch and said, hey man, like I want you to come back into the franchise and help me build this up. And he gave me like, we're going to make millions of dollars. You take care of this because I'm not good at this. I'll do this, la, 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 la. And it's like that part of me is like, I've been down this road. It's like, I know, like I took a weekend away. I went and got an Airbnb. I do this every 3 months and I highly recommend people doing it. Just every quarter, like a quarterly reset, like a business does a business review. I do a quarterly reset where I'll go through my values, my purpose, my mission, my vision, and my master plan. So it's a reset. Who am I? Values do change over time. It gives you time to disconnect, to reconnect to yourself. And I did that. And because the guy's like, you got to because he was always like that pushy, come on, let's make the deal, let's make it happen, let's go. And I'd always be the people pleaser and say, yeah, okay, let's do it. And I'll not do what I actually wanted to do. So I went and did my reset. And it's like literally I dropped in, just did a meditation, took a big breath in. I'm like, because I had the pathway of, I want to be this coach. I want to start coaching people in the way that I do now. Or let's do the gyms. And I've been doing it for 7 years. I've already got all these skills. I know how to build them and I've just done it. I did it too fast without the right structure in place. I can figure that out. I just big breath in. Which one is it? Like within half a second, I knew the answer. It was like, follow what your heart wants you to do. And then I just had that conversation and say, hey man, like I love you and thank you for the growth in the last 7 years that we've been together, but this is not for me, man. I'm going to say no to the deal. I'll just have my one under management. I ended up saying that about a year or two ago. But yeah, this is my passion, and this is my path, and I started doing that I think about 4 years ago now, and that's when I was like had to figure out, because there was a part of me like, I've been in franchising for 7 years. I've never been in my own business where I have to create my own systems, my own offers, my own marketing. So I was kind of avoiding the lessons of it. I was giving all my power away to the franchise, where it's like, well, now I've got to figure out what's my offer, how do I market, how do I get my own leads, how do I do this. And yeah, I was kind of like avoiding that discomfort, but mate, happy I leaned into it, and yeah, last 4 years has been awesome. I wrote a book last year. That was like the big project. Started running online events is where I started. Did a lot of one-on-one coaching. That's where a lot of coaches start. And yeah, now build out a subscription option with School. I love School. Great platform. I run in-person events. I literally got my 3-day event on this weekend. And yeah, it's just kind of like figuring out what the vision looks like more in detail. Like the vision gets clearer as you walk towards the vision. So I'm still getting clear on like, I kind of have the vision of like an epic online community of just impacting thousands of people with great recurring revenue. And then like Joe Dispenza level retreats, like in-person events. They're like the two parts to me, because as much as I love working from home, like I'm a homebody, I barely leave the house besides training and podcasts and events. I love people. I love connecting with people, giving you a big hug when I meet you. I met your wife for today, first time today. It's like I love people, but then I get quite drained when I'm around them too much. So it's like I want that fix of I want to run events, but I don't want to have to run events to live. So I wanted to build School as like my hub. I've got this great community, great impact, great testimonials. We've got thousands of testimonials in the group now. But I want to also have that fix of meeting people in the flesh and connecting with people, helping people. So that's been the mission for the last 4 years now.
Fuck, I didn't need to cough for so long.
Well done for holding it in.
I appreciate that. Fuck, that was a long cough. I was waiting a long time for that cough.
I felt one earlier, but I like swallowed it away.
Yeah,
So,
nice. So look, I think for me, the biggest thing, like when I went from, for me it was gradual. You know, I went from working in kitchens, PT, personal training. Then I went into working in sales, closing like 120K a week for accounts. Then I went into like building offers, acquisition. Fast forward now, you know, almost 30. I started when I was 21. So that's a long time. My biggest thing is like there were skills that easily transmuted into what I do now. Yep. So like, for example, like fortunately, sales has always been quite natural for me. Yep. Like leading teams has always been quite natural for me. Yep. You know, when I was working on this super yacht, I was leading a whole team of people, you know, like stewardesses, chefs, like myself. I was like the top of that, and I was only young. I was the youngest in the whole crew. So there's a good thing for me then, because I could transmute all my skills into what I'm doing now. But there were some skills I couldn't really transmute. So leadership was something that I've always dealt with, right? Like, it's like I learned from someone recently, the values of leadership and culture is the most important thing. Like when you build culture, you want to build culture in 2 main value points. That's what I stand for now. Like one is military. So people are all in, be committed. They know exactly what they need to do. Like it's specific. Military also have this sense of everyone's working towards a common goal, protecting the country, the mission, the values, the vision, all that stuff. But then there's like the family orientation, right? Like people are there because they love each other, they care, they connect. But I feel like if you go too much into the family space, then people don't take it seriously potentially. Like people, if your uncle says something, sometimes you don't do the thing your uncle says, right? So for me, I learned a lot there, and that's been the hardest thing for me to really learn and evolve from over the years. But I've spent a lot of energy and focus on that. Yep. Brother, what's been your one? Because Jim's skills to building a personal brand with, you know, almost 1 million followers, man, it's phenomenal. But there's something like, what was easy for you in building a business, and what's been hard and still potentially hard for you in terms of like strategy and skill set?
I think something that wasn't very hard was the taking action part. I'm very much like, I think I got it from, it was funny you mentioned the military. I learned this from Cohen Ray, the late great Cohen Ray, and he said like, it's from a book, he quoted it, but it's like they studied like the highest ultra successful people across all industries, from business to sports to everything, and they all had common factors. It was either military background, sporting background, or gaming background. So it's like it's areas where it's like hyper focus on one singular goal of the mission. So I just thought it was a cool little nugget there. I've never had problems with the work. Like I'm grateful for my dad, like very hardworking child. Like I remember I got caught stealing as a kid. I haven't shared this story before. I got caught stealing a chocolate when I was like think like 7 years old.
What chocolate was it?
I can't remember actually. I think it was a twirl or something, but I loved it at the time. And I'm from Norfolk Island. I'm from this tiny little island.
You're from Norfolk Island?
I was born there. Yeah.
Dude,
not many people
no
know.
way.
Yeah, it's you have to go.
What was it like there living there? It's like this.
It's like
Incredible, hey?
I have a distorted perception of it because of my like hurt as in childhood.
Gotcha.
But it's a beautiful place. If you love nature, love disconnecting from like the fast pace of the world, and you just want to connect with like the beauty of the world, it's a beautiful place. But yeah, it's but very little opportunity. Like there's I think the population is 1,500. Like it's not very big.
You must like know everyone.
Oh yeah, you know everyone. Like my grade, there was like 20 people in my grade. So like it's funny. You let you know everyone. But yeah, I got caught stealing chocolate, and I remember my dad, like, he made me. I think I was grounded for like 6 months, and I had to, like, school holidays had just started, so I lost all of school holidays, and I was working on the farm every single day, like picking up fucking sweet potatoes with a pitchfork. He made me go and apologize to the store owner, and that was like really confronting and shameful for me to do. But I got that from dad, like hard work, roll up your socks and do it. And he hasn't really got the work smart part yet. He's still working hard, so I'm trying to help him that area, so get more leverage with his outcomes. So I've never had problems with that. What have I had challenges with? I had this thought the other day, actually, and something I'm inspired by actually. It's just playing bigger. Like, because I've gone to, like, I've swung so hard where it's like eaten my personal life away, and I'm like burnt out. It's like now I don't send it as much as I could send it. So it's like probably stretching myself is probably the one answer. Yeah. So I've been consciously getting around better people, because you become who you hang with. Just having conversations. Like, it was good. I literally moved house like last week, like 4 days ago. So I'm like going and trying gyms at the moment. And I'm like, where's the community that's going to stretch me physically? Like, I want to get around people that not just body wise, but mentally, financially, business, and get around like people that are playing big, because you get inspired by them. And I know you do this with what you do. Like, you hang around some really cool people, like some people that I'm sure you're like, holy shit, I could be doing so much more. I can stretch myself. I'm playing small in comparison. So probably doing that, because I do have goals that do stretch me, but I think there's extra layers to me that I could stretch more. Like, I'm running an event tomorrow. When we run our one-day events, it's like I've got a room that fits 100 people, and we sell that out easily. It's like I could go to a bigger venue and sell more tickets, but it's like I don't. I'm like, this is working. Let's keep doing it. So because I had a goal this year to run 3 3-day events, and then 2 one-day events leading into each one-day event to sell people into it. Nice. And it's like I wanted to get the system right, the ads and all that stuff, and we pretty much cracked it on the first one. Like, we got it working straight away. Nice. And it's like, but I'd already booked the venue for what we're doing. It's like I could easily cancel that and just get a bigger venue and get more people, but it's like I don't do that. I come back to it. This is working. It's kind of like the autistic Asperger's part of me, where it's like I like what's working. Let's keep doing what's working, rather than let's stretch it. Let's play bigger. Let's blow it all up. So that's probably one for me, man, that I'm still learning to find that sweet spot of how do I push myself without like breaking myself. That's me at the moment. What's your answer to that? I want to know your answer to that question.
What was the question?
I
went into your story, brother. I'm all in with your analogies.
What are things that you're right now still getting better at, or learning to improve with, business-wise, or even personally as well?
For me, the biggest thing is energy management and killing things you don't want to do, and expelling on things you want to do.
Great answer.
I think for me, like, because, I run and manage a lot of things at the moment in terms of like accounts, things doing like $1 million per month, things like scaling, things are newer. So like, I think I get caught in, everything goes through me. Yeah. So I feel like there's a really big piece of me that if I spend time on, I can spend time on focusing on needle moving things all day, every day, and I would have so much energy to like keep going. But then I could do one task for like 5 minutes, and my energy's gone. It's flat. I'm down. I need something. Yeah. So I think it's just having the awareness in the day that I've got really good at doing now, because not all tasks give you the same energy levels. Yeah. And I think there's things you don't want to be doing and things you shouldn't be doing. And I think for me, it's like quickly having the thing I don't want to do, and then build a process, manage it, give it to someone else, delegate, and scale it effectively and efficiently. That's been one thing. The second thing, which I only picked up in the last probably 12 months, is just being very hyper accurate of who I listen to in the space, because everyone has their opinion.
How do you filter? I'm curious, because something I admire about you is your ability to play big, but then you take action and you happily invest. Like, I remember you told me you paid someone like thousands of dollars for a coffee. I'm like, holy shit, that's amazing. But it's like your ability to take action, but how do you actually, because from our conversations you've told me, your ability to actually break things down and to systemize and delegate it pretty quickly, you seem to do that pretty quickly. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
So how do you filter all the noise? Because I guarantee you've probably got 20 strategies you could go do today, but it's like, which one it's like, how do you find your high priority levers to pull, and how do you come to that decision? Because you're dealing with big numbers, like you're throwing out $1 million a month, like millions, like big numbers. It's like, how the fuck do you do that? I'm on a lot smaller scale than that. It's like, how do you pick your actions to take?
You got to focus. My biggest thing, you got to focus on. It starts with energy. It starts with calendar. The most simplest things, like where do you spend your time every day? Like we'll keep it very basic. Like where you spend your time every. This is good for bloopers. My cough is so bad. I'm not even sick. That's how fucked it is.
No, I get it from because the temperature's dropped, and like I've got it still, so it's like I smash teas and shit to get it going. But
so I think my thing, right? So like managing your calendar every day. So what are the needle movers in your day every day? And I think a lot of times people don't have the awareness of what's actually happening in their day on a micro level. They have weekly meetings, not daily meetings. They're expanding time, not compressing time. These things I do exceptionally well. So, like, for example, I might have an idea this morning about implementing one thing for an account, and then boom, by the afternoon it's done.
That's cool.
Sales teams trained, setters are trained, process, like everyone knows, it's all data tracked, VAs, the whole thing's on point, and then we'll have attributions from how successful it was in 1 or 2 days.
Solid.
Whereas most people, they're still thinking of the idea. Yeah. So I think it's a level of because I spend a lot of money on mentors and people, and I've only got like probably 3 or 4 people I truly listen to in this space.
If you're okay, Sharon, who do you listen to?
I got one guy in America. He runs like $100 million US sales team. Solid. So he kills it in this space. I've got like, so I got him. I've been working with him for a long time. He's just an older guy, like 45, and he's just dialed. He gets it. He understands it. And I got 2 other coaches.
When you say dialed, what do you mean? What's he dialed with?
I think dialed is the point of like, he's got this, like, it's not so much a systematic thing. It's more like one day I had a huddle with the team, right? And then people show up like a minute, 2 minutes late. Yeah. And I was just like, I let it slide. Yeah. You know, it's just like everyone jumps on eventually. Yeah. We had a bad day yesterday. Maybe I can just bring that inspiration and belief. Yeah. When I told him about it, he was like, you need to stop that now. Because if you let the little things become big things, they're going to become big things. Yeah. And people won't take you seriously if you don't do the small things right.
Cool. Good.
And those little changes, like calling me out on things, that's powerful, you know? So, but then
how does the ego take that?
Which one?
Do you, for me, it was a learning curve to be able to take feedback.
And conflict.
Did the ego used to like deflect back, like say fuck you and do it?
It still does, bro.
Because you've got that fiery like personality, and generally that comes along with a bit of like bite back.
Yeah, for sure.
How have you had that journey? Has that been is that true for you? Like, were you a bit like you'd deflect it, say fuck you, I don't agree, and how have you come to it? Because to be able to do what you do now, you've had to have improved with this.
Biggest thing for me, because when someone says something to me, even now. So, like, if someone's not where I want to be, I don't tend to listen to them. And it's not a selfish ego thing. They're not where I want to be.
They haven't got the results.
They haven't got the results. They're back. And everyone today is coaching a coach. Everyone's making 10K per month. Everyone's successful in the space. And then it's like, cool, show me your bank account. You know, like, how successful are you in doing that thing? So I want to back the person I'm working with first, number one. Number two is when someone gives me advice on that level, sometimes the ego does come up to it. Like, I get fiery. I'm like, man, it's not that way. It's this way. That's why I'm doing it this way. But I pause and stop, and I think that's his advice has gotten him there. I want to get there. I should listen.
How did you get that skill? That's a good skill.
It's a great skill.
How'd you get that? Because most people don't get that.
That's an origin.
And then they just get, where's that come from? That's a really good skill.
I didn't have any kitchen. You know what? I did have a kitchen. So I was working at a restaurant called Noma, which was the #1 restaurant in the whole entire world. Wow. 3 Michelin star. Wow. They were voted #1 in top, like, for years. Top 1. Okay. So there was a point where the chef, he's a chef called Rene Redzepi, is incredible. So you would walk into the restaurant and you weren't doing the small things right. Like, let's say, for example, everyone walks in. They say, hello, how are you? So when someone comes in, like, let's say you go to the restaurant, everyone goes to the front door. And then the waiters, waitresses, chefs, kitchen hands, everyone just runs. 80 people. As soon as they see you walk, 80 people run to the door. And they're like, hey, what's happening? What's happening? And then he watches the whole thing. And then if someone doesn't go on time or doesn't smile or wave, I didn't wave and I didn't smile. Yeah. He came to me and he went crazy. Yeah. He went crazy at me. And I was like, little things. I'm like, there's a respect piece here. There's an authority piece here. Like how someone can have authority over everyone. It's incredible. And then I started thinking, okay, authority is one thing, But then there's positioning. So like he's positioned, he's the guy. Like everyone needs to listen to him.
Yeah.
So I think it's having the mutual respect of that person. And that's honestly why people aren't where they want to be. One, because they don't listen to the right person.
Yeah.
So they just get blindsided all the time. Yeah. So I can help you with, how many leads do you want a month? 1,000? I can get you 1,000 leads per month with this strategy. And then you don't get results. Yeah. And then it's like the next thing. And all of a sudden you spend 20, 30K and coaching isn't working. Yeah. All this type of stuff, right? And it's like the people you do listen to, take their advice and use it. Yeah. Just like do the thing. But you got to find the right coach. I don't do coaching. I don't coach anyone. Yeah. I run like a client acquisition agency. I don't personally like coaching. For me, it makes sense to run teams, build teams, train sales guys, close myself, nudge deals, be the marketing, like be that front and be the back end person for really big people.
What gets you going? What's like the most inspiring, like you fucking get energized doing?
Bro, it's the vision of where I want to be in this business. It's the vision of where I want my life to be, what my goals are, where I want to be, with family, friends, wife, partner. That's my thing. That's my main drive. But then I look back a second. I think, okay, the business what I do excites me. So back to your question, I want to find the things that truly excite me. What I'm doing, that's key for me. Because if I ended up being bogged down with the wrong things like admin or speaking to like VAs about certain little things, I get destroyed. My energy goes down. Yeah. So my conscious effort every day is how can I keep my energy center on point so I can work 12, 14, 15, 16 hour days and still have so much energy. So I want to do more things. Yeah. And that's what needs to happen, So 3 things, right? Energy management is key. Start with the calendar. Yep. If you show me your calendar, I can show. Someone said to me ages ago, if you show me a calendar, you can show me your bank account. Yep. Like, where do you spend your time? Yep. And then from those things, what are the needle movers? Yep. What's like high revenue driven activities? Yep. I'm not talking about automating, delegating, and getting I'm talking about actually understanding what is the needle mover for you in your life, in your business, in your income. Because if you've been making 20, 30K a month for the last 12 months and your goal is to make 100K and you just can't do it, it's because you're the person, you're the bottleneck.
Doing the wrong things, yeah.
Exactly. So that's one thing. And the second thing is like listening to the right people and then cutting out the noise. Yeah.
I don't know where that started from, but
let's just fucking go. Started from a cough, started from the gyms. We're here because we're here.
What's going on in your head at the moment? As in, what are you thinking about at the moment? What's occupying your headspace at the moment?
Right now in this podcast? Or just in general?
In general, like last couple of weeks, couple of months, what's been the focus? What have you been thinking about? Whether you're actioning it, whether they're just thoughts that keep passing by?
For me, it's like growth in a whole. What really excites me is taking something that wasn't there and putting something and building it. What really excites me is like a team. Like have a team that's thriving. Like good culture, like great culture, like building a great infrastructure in a business and actually scaling it properly. What really excites me is like fulfillment, people getting great results in what you're actually doing. Because if you're selling something to believe in, what's the fucking point, dude? Do you know? So like that's one thing that's always in my mind. And it's like, I'm really conscious now of like what I let into my mind and what's the drivers for me in my day-to-day stuff. Because I think if you can call it values, mission, purpose. For me, it's like I just like to have intention and focus throughout the whole day and make decisions on that. Because it's so easy, man. We live in a world where we lose attention. We jump on Instagram. We get distracted. Someone calls us. We take that. That's just like our focus just goes everywhere. Yeah. So you got to like stay specific. You know.
How do you use AI? Sorry to chime in.
AI.
Yeah. I'm curious your thoughts on it.
AI is
how do you
really
use it and what's going on?
Interesting space. Yeah. For me, I haven't really gone down the rabbit hole just yet. Yeah. I know people that have literally gone down the rabbit hole and have created like everything you need to know about AI agents, automate the whole business just through AI. But for me, it's like a whole nother skill I haven't learned yet. I don't have time to learn. What about yourself? Do you use AI?
I use it in a little bit. So I just it's like I follow Gary Vee, Stephen Bartlett, and
nice.
I keep a finger on the pulse, but I'm not like in there every day like doing it. I use it almost every day, like more so for me creative ideas. So it's like, hey, like I had a sauna last night and was meditating, and I just thought of like heaps of cool content ideas. So I just pull it up and I say, hey, here's 4 content ideas, put it on my content list, and then I'll say, hey, bring up my content list, and then I'll just jam it out. That's kind of the most I use it for. But yeah, I just. From what I've been hearing from everyone, it's comparing to when the internet came into it, it's bigger than that. So it's like how the internet shaped the entire world. This is next level to that. And yeah, I don't know how it's going to go, what's going to go on. I've just, I like to ask people who are in business what their thoughts are. Is your team using it? Are you guys, is it through the business?
People are using it for sure.
Cool.
We just paid someone like 20K just to build out lots of stuff for AI.
Solid.
It's, for me, it's like a whole nother rabbit hole.
Okay.
It's like, I reckon it'll take like years to master, and perfect. And the time of that, educating yourself, I'd rather just find someone who's like the expert.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Any other thoughts then? What else is happening in your world?
Mate, so I guess for yourself, dude, your keys on personal branding. So you built a personal brand. I think when I met you, maybe you had Facebook, Bebo, MSN. That was a long time ago we met, right?
Would have been Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, only Facebook. Maybe Instagram.
Instagram,
if it was around.
No followers potentially, and then now you've got like 600,000 followers.
Yeah. Got 950 across all of them.
Across platforms.
Across them all.
Like, was that like an overnight thing or?
Definitely not an overnight thing. I like Gary Vee's
content strategy.
Yeah, I just like his mindset behind it. Like he says, like people, like he uses baseball as the analogy. It's like a lot of people just try to hit home runs every single time. It's like where he says, I just focus on ones and twos. So that's what I focus on. Like hook, retain, reward. Like to give yourself some form of a framework. So make sure the hook is juicy. It's eye-grabbing, throat-grabbing, it gets people's attention, it calls out your avatar, like make sure the hook is good, so there's definitely a lot of truth to that. Retain, like I don't do like sort of like influency things to keep people retained, I just talk. Like most of my content's just me talking straight to camera. So I just teach something that is helpful, meaningful. Like if you just add value in your content and package it in a way that gets people to consume it and share it around, that's essentially what I do. Like it's not, I do specifically the strategy I do 2 posts. I do 4 posts a day on Instagram. 2 of them are quotes, which come from my podcast. So my system is, this is where AI comes into it. I upload the podcast. I've got VAs who then get the transcript, put it into ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT makes quotes from the podcast. So it then grabs the quotes, they then put into carousels, they then put into all those things. So I do 2 quotes, and then I do 2 reels, and they're all posted as reels at this time because that's what the content's rewarding, and carousels. So reels and carousels is pretty much all I post. And one of the reels is me talking, and that can either be a clip from my podcast that my VAs have clipped up and put together, or it's just me speaking straight to camera, because I like the act of filming content, because it's something like we're doing right now. We're just jamming on a long form piece of content. We're flowing, and some people are really good at that, but they're really shit at saying the same shit in 2 minutes. Yeah. So doing short form content, it actually does refine your teachings a lot. As a coach, it's really helpful for me. Yeah. So if I was to teach a concept like trauma or purpose or sabotage in 3 minutes, I've got to think about how do I actually teach this. So it does help me articulate my messages really well. It's funny, sometimes when I'm answering someone's question, it's like I find myself go back into the answer I've done on a video before, because I've like broken it into how I would teach this. But I literally just jam out, talk to it. I do very little editing. I've always had that, I learned this years and years ago when I first started, was it's like people over polish shit content. Yep. It's like they have this content that it's got like no substance to it, and they get the best cameras on the planet, the best lighting on the planet, and all that stuff, and it's like the content's shit. It's like you're polishing dog shit. Like make the content good. I remember when I first started the journey of growth 10 years ago, and I was listening to Tony Robbins on YouTube. The audio, like Gary says, like make sure the audio is good, because people will tolerate good audio, but they won't they'll tolerate shit video, they won't tolerate shit audio. Yeah. Like if you can't hear it properly, people just get over it. Yeah. I've watched hours of Tony Robbins like back then, where it was like just clips of him at his events, and you could barely see it, but like the value was good. Yeah, I'm getting value from this. So I prioritize above everything, make it valuable. The quote's valuable, the post valuable. I remix other content as well. So people get really weird about this one. It's like I find people like I did one the other day. It was Mel Robbins and Dr. Caroline Leaf, and they're talking about how labels like depression, anxiety, PTSD are labels that keep you stuck, and that is 1,000% aligned with how I view things. Exactly. And I just remixed it, and it's got like 100,000 views on my profile for that person. I've gained followers off it because they see that's what I'm into, and it's such a low-hanging fruit solution for people who struggle to actually post content, because you can just find people who you're aligned with. The only disclaimer I would probably say is don't do it to your competitors. So don't go remix your competitors' stuff, because they'll see it and go to the competitor. Yeah. But if you find people who are aligned with what you do, I've posted Tony Robbins, I've posted Cohen Ray, I've posted Peter Crone, I've posted Jay Shetty, Lewis Howes, like people that I'm like, that message is meaningful. So instead of me jumping on and me teaching my own version of it, I just remix it. And it takes like 10 seconds. So people are like, I don't know what to I can't post enough content. It's like, so I do 2 quotes, 2 reels, and one of them is me talking, one of them is a remix. I just do that every day, Monday to Sunday. I do 3 podcasts per week, but I've set my whole thing up. They're solo podcasts. I have done guests before. I had you on yonks ago, I'm pretty sure. So I don't do guests anymore. I just can't be fucked, to be honest. I just can't be bothered. I will at some point. But I've set it up where I literally click record on my camera. I click stop recording. I just take the file out. I upload it. That's it. So there's zero polishing. So I'm just straight into teaching of it because I'm a teacher. I'm a coach. I love just that of it. I'm not trying to just hack the algorithm to get the reach, which you want to keep in mind because yes, the algorithm's going to show it to people so then you can help more people and get more business. But I do 1 to 3, depending how my flow's going. If I got events on or whatever, 1 to 3 podcasts per week, and that takes me an average podcast for me takes me 10 minutes to sort of have the dot points I'm going to be talking about. And then the average episode goes for about 15 minutes. A long one will be about 25 minutes. So I do 1 to 3 of those a week. My VAs chop up quotes and clips out of that. And then I'll film sometimes, on average, I'll say 5 fresh videos of me just to my camera. And I literally use the TikTok app. I pull up TikTok, I click on it, film it, pause it, auto captions, post. Like, I don't...
So easy.
People they're like, I need the best camera. I need the best light. No, you fucking don't. It's like, start talking. And if you think you're only going to make it if you have the flashes set up and the flashes cameras and you're full of shit. Like, just talk, have a good hook, make sure your shit's valuable, see what's working, remix other people's stuff to help you out to get some traction. Because I've had one, I shared this, it's a video. I've posted it a couple times. It's a great video. It's this kid on stage dancing, and it's just like dancing, and all these other kids are like being real timid, and he's just being weird and quirky and autistic. I love it. I don't think he's autistic, but I'm just saying he's been weird. And it's got like 2.8 million views right now, and I've posted that a couple of times. Wow. So it's probably got collectively probably 10 million views. And I've probably gained off the most recent one because I posted about 2 weeks ago. I think I've gained 2,000 followers off there. So it's like, I put my own remix on it. I said, when you stop giving a fuck about people's opinions and you just embrace your true self. And easy. Like, that took me 30 seconds to do. I've got millions of views, and then 2,000 people have now entered my world and they've consumed my other content. That will lead to clients. I'm like, it's not that complicated. So yeah, I film 3 podcasts, 5 to 7 like ones of me, and they're based on like my sauna last night. My sauna I came up with 4. I'm going to probably film those today.
That's sick.
So it's like, I really want to teach that because, especially like I said, like sitting down to actually film it, it forces you to articulate it. Writing a book and filming content helps you understand your messaging, your teachings, your lessons, your thoughts so much better because you've got to actually word it out. I'm sure you get that with copywriting and stuff. But yeah, that's what I do, man, and I've just been doing it consistently. So
man, that's powerful. So people don't post, you reckon, because of like shame or fear of like people, what are they going to think of me? Or
100%. I remember my first video I posted, which was 10 years ago. I was my mentor said like, when are you posting your first piece of content, like to get me out of my comfort zone? And I was still at high school, so I'm in year 12. And I'm part of a football team, so I've got a sports background. And for anyone that's been in sports, it's like the lads give it to you for anything, right?
Yeah.
Anything they'll give you shit for. And I posted the video, and it took me. I was down Burleigh Heads, the boardwalk essentially. I walked down, and there's like trees up near the beach, away from the water. And I sat down and I pulled up my phone, and it took me, I think, an hour to film a 30-second video. And it would just be me saying, hey guys, it's a beautiful day, get outside and don't waste your life doing nothing. Something along the lines of that. I found it the other day, I actually saved it. It's really cringe watching it back. Anyways, I would have someone walk past, I'll put the phone down. I'm like, fuck, they can't see me. So I was so scared of the judgment. And anyways, I did it, posted it. I turned my phone off for 2 days because I didn't want to read the comments. And I went to school the next day. Oh, here's Mr. Motivation. How are you, brother? How's your goals going? I'm like, bro. I'm like, but it was kind of like, it was that exposure therapy, just got used to it pretty quickly. But yes, it's this ties into trauma and beliefs. So if you have beliefs that you're not enough, that you're stupid, that people are going to leave you, if you have trauma around judgment, criticism, abandonment, neglection, you will protect yourself from experiencing the trauma again, and you'll reinforce whatever beliefs you have. So that's where the inner work comes into it. So yes, my brother is perfect example for this. My brother Tom, he's attempted suicide a couple of times. He drove his car into a tree, into a wall. He was on antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications, and struggled a lot mentally. He's 30. He's a year and a half above me, and it took him 7 years of seeing me do like my work for him to like reach out to me and feel open up to come up to me, which was fine. And he started to do a little bit of work with me. I just helped him out with some things, taught him values, purpose, mission, vision, all this stuff. And I've helped him out a lot. And I called him, it was this year actually, it was only this year. So, Jan 1st this year, called him up, Happy New Year. What's your goals for the year? And he told me, I want to do some more healing work and work on myself. I want to start my own business. I want to start posting content. I'm like, awesome, man. Like, that's really inspiring. Thank you. I said, when are you going to post your first piece of content. He's like, oh, I knew you were going to ask me that question. I said, what are you protecting yourself from by not posting? Judgment. He was an overweight kid. He was bullied a lot for being fat. Like, he had a lot of wounds around judgment. So him not posting protects him from being judged. So yes, it's a coping mechanism. But we've done some process on it, done my balancing process, some trauma work, and he started posting content about a month ago. So I've been sharing it. He got 10K views on his first one. It's obviously everyone just give him love and support for his first video, but it's really cool. He started a school community. So he started a school community for dads for mental health, because that's what he struggled with. So it's really cool. So my brother's kind of like a little test dummy for me for some of my work. So yeah, 100%. Answer your question, yes. You're protecting yourself from trauma, or you're reinforcing beliefs. You got to figure out what they are, address it with a process, then the resistance will go away, and then you'll take more action.
Man, that's powerful. So you work with a lot of entrepreneurs, right? And I think beliefs and trauma, that's what sets them back and like really holds them, right? So I think what's interesting is like, because we have the awareness, and I have the awareness, when I see someone, they've got like potentially a money block, or they're afraid of like a scarcity or something, I see in them that they have a trauma of something, of some sort. I think most people have something. Everyone has something, right? Big or small. So what's your method? How do you help people get through traumas, through like things that hold them back? Is it like more breath work? Is it energetics? Is it? Would you refer me to your profile? This is
a big rabbit hole, man. So we go deep. Yeah, we can go as far as you want to. So trauma, a couple definitions I like of it. I like Dr. Gabor Mate. He says trauma is not what happens to you; it's what happens inside of you. It's unprocessed memories, from Dr. Sarah Woodhouse. Trauma is anything you can't say have gratitude for or love for is a lopsided perception. That's Dr. John DeMartini. He's my favorite mentor. My definition, trauma is a moment in time of overwhelm or underwhelm. So there's a moment in your life where something was overwhelming, too much, or underwhelming, not enough. And in that moment, you do two things. You often do two things. It may be one, but you often do two. First thing is you split your awareness. So you become conscious of the downsides, what's painful about it, and unconscious of the gifts that come along with it or the benefits to it. This is when you create a label that something's bad. So I like to help people find out what's the specific wound you have: abandonment, rejection, criticism, anger, neglect. It's a label you've created from a moment in time of something being too much or not enough, and you create a lopsided perception. That's DeMartini's words. The second part is you will often open a loop of emotions that you don't close. So human beings, animals, full stop. When you go into, there's a beautiful video, it's an alpala or a gazelle. It's on YouTube. I actually played at my event to teach this. It's captured by a leopard or a cheetah or something. So it's caught and it's like gone into a freeze response. So you got fight, flight, or freeze. So it's gone into a freeze response. And then the leopard goes away. Like it goes off screen and you don't know where it goes. And then the animal, the alpaca, whatever it is, the gazelle, it starts to discharge. Yeah, so it realizes it's safe and it starts to discharge because it wants to close off that emotional loop. So it's like you go into, say someone comes in here right now with a gun and like we all go into fight or flight. We're going to either fight, flight, or freeze. Say we don't discharge or finish that emotional loop, we store it into our nervous system. The body keeps the score by Dr. Vessel van der Kolk. So that becomes stored emotional trauma. So your nervous system gets dysregulated. And then when you perceive something that reminds you of the trauma, it triggers you back into that emotional loop. So that's why nothing triggers you. It reveals what's inside of you. So trauma is what we just spoke about. You create coping mechanisms. This is what we're talking about before. It's what you do to protect, hide, and overcome the trauma. So I've been rejected before. I don't want to get rejected again. So I'm going to be a people pleaser. I'm not going to put myself out there. I'm not going to start the podcast. I'm not going to set my boundaries. I'm not going to get into relationships. I'm going to stay single forever. It's you're overcompensating from the trauma. You're trying to protect it, overcome it, and not be seen as it. That gets a bit deeper. Third is a trigger. Something that reminds you of the trauma, activates the coping mechanism. So how do we heal it? There's many ways to heal. There's 5 bodies to heal through. There's the mental, which is what most people think of as trauma. Memories, childhood shit, stuff, conscious, unconscious mind. Second is emotional. So mental body, you got the emotional body, that's your nervous system. So that's your suppressed emotions. Polyvagal theory comes into mind there. Third is the somatic body, so the physical body. So you might have heard the issues are in the tissues.
Yes.
So somatic work, body massages. Hot tip, I can connect you with someone while you're on the Gold Coast. Kahuna massages are awesome for this. It's essentially an emotional massage. So they massage you. It's very intimate. Wow. And if like perfect example, I dislocated my knee 6 times playing rugby when I grew up. So I had a lot of physical pain around it. My coping mechanism, when people would walk behind me, I'd get nervous that they're going to touch my knee. So I'd get really tense. That's the coping mechanism. I'm trying to protect myself from the trauma. Anyways, I was getting this Kahuna massage. Just Google it if you need to understand what it is. And she went to my knee and my whole body started shaking. And she's like, what happened to your knee? I'm like, oh, I dislocated it a lot when I played football. She's like, oh, okay. Well, what's the emotion here? I'm like, anxiety, fear. She's like, breathe into it, feel it right now. And I started to cry having this massage because I had all this unprocessed shit in my body, in my tissues. So that's somatic work. So if you ever heard of somatic work, that's what that means. Fourth is the spiritual body. This is where you get like plant medicines, crystals, chakras, all that stuff come into it. Shamanic healing. And then fifth is the energetic body. That's the one I do the least amount of work with. That's where you're looking at meridians, chakra centers, sound healing. My wife's a sound healer, so we do sound bowls at our event. A video I show for this as well is the tuning forks, if you've seen that. So there's a video on YouTube, or you can find it somewhere, where some guy has this one tuning fork touching a ball, and he grabs another tuning fork that's different to the tuning fork that's there. He hits it and nothing happens. Then he grabs the same one on the same frequency as that tuning fork, hits it, and that one starts to vibrate. So your chakra centers, if you want to go down that spiritual route, each center has a level of frequency that it vibrates at. So when you hit frequencies that hit it, it opens them up and opens up those energy centers. So when Georgia does her sound bowls, my wife Georgia, she does her sound bowls. Each sound bowl is a different frequency, which hits each center. So she will do certain bowls, and you'll hear people after there's some fucking beautiful transformations at the events, man. This one guy, he was blind from birth. He'd never cried out of his eye, and he started crying for the first time out of his eye after the process. I had this woman, she lost a child. She had a miscarriage, and she lost a child, and she felt her child in the meditation, and she just started crying there. And Georgia, because she's very in tune when she's doing her magic, she's like, I felt someone's present right in front of me, because there was someone right in front of her. The person was right in front of her. It's like there's beautiful things, like people's back pain goes away. I've had someone's eyesight get better, so like they could actually see properly because they had some shit going on. I'm not at the level yet where I can say what certain diseases physically come from mentally and emotionally. Yeah, I'll get to that at one point, but I'm not there just yet. But we have incredible breakthroughs, man. But so they're the 5 bodies. I use Bruce Lee's quote. He says, there's no ultimate martial art, only the ultimate martial artist who knows every martial art, uses the right one at the right time to get the right result. So this is where there's no tool that's better than the other. It depends on what body needs to be addressed. So this is where I take the piss out of certain modalities. I'm a breathwork facilitator, so I use it as a tool. That's a great tool. Breathwork is phenomenal for emotional trauma. So any precognitive, say you got traumatized and you had a moment of overwhelm or underwhelm, and you've got all this anxiety in your nervous system, but maybe you're not conscious of the memory. Maybe it happened to you when you're 6 months old. You're not going to remember that. Well, highly likely you're not going to remember that. Some people do. So you've got this thing in your nervous system, but you're not aware of it. Breath work is phenomenal because it actually knocks out your neocortex. So it actually knocks out the frontal lobe. So your autonomic nervous system finishes that loop. So if you've ever seen videos of breath work, people are like screaming and crying and shaking. Yeah. They're finishing the loops of emotion. So breath work's awesome for that. Here's the challenge though. If you only do breath work and you never process the mental perceptions you haven't rebalanced yet, then you're going to continue to get triggered because you haven't closed the loop off yet. So this is where there's no ultimate martial art. Use the right one at the right time to get the right result. So yeah, there's many ways to heal. My favorite is my balancing process because I use 6 processes in the one. I use DeMartini, holographics, I use timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, negative emotional release techniques, and there's one other one that I use in there, neuro-linguistic coaching, and other, like, there's certain steps along the way. It's a very much designed from DeMartini's work. So he does a lot of perceptions. He's very mental though, for anyone that's done his work. He's an absolute wizard. He's hard to keep up with sometimes, but he's an absolute wizard, but he's very mental. If anyone knows him, you know what I'm talking about. He's very intellectual. Like if you go look at him on YouTube, he's like the most doctor looking person you'll ever talk to. Absolute genius, but he doesn't do like somatic stuff. He doesn't do emotional stuff compared to other people. So DeMartini's probably the biggest influence in my way of healing people, but then I integrate other tools. I've done 9 certifications in modalities and I'll use them into the modality. I'm trying to become the ultimate martial artist. I'm trying to use breath work, hypnotherapy, timeline therapy, emotional release techniques, NLP. I'm using them to get people across the line. Make sense?
Makes sense.
That's a big rabbit hole. It's a big rabbit hole. So trauma is the moment of time of overwhelm, underwhelm. You create a lopsided perception. You often create an unclosed loop of emotion. There are tons of tools to help with that, and you use the right one at the right time to get the right result.
The rabbit hole goes deep.
It is very deep. It's very, and then you want to help people find it. So this is where you are a projector. Your whole life is a projection.
Gotcha.
So wherever you have resistance in your life, you get triggered. You judge other people. You judge yourself. You have some form of mental or emotional resistance. I don't want to post the content. People are going to judge me. That's resistance in your projection, but it's coming from the projector. That's you. Yes. So that's where there's a belief in there or a perception in there that you're reinforcing or you're protecting yourself from. So you want to find what that is and do a process on it. And that's where I like to give people practical steps to do the work, because people talk about the shit and they're like, oh yes, your life's a mirror. Okay, that makes sense. Well, then how do you change it? You got to find what the reflection is, what the trait is, what the wound is, integrate that, then the reflection goes away. So, yeah.
Man, that's powerful.
Yeah, I love it.
Man, that's a good Facebook ad.
Yeah. It's my favorite conversation, man. It's like I've been learning to, I'm going to change my wording around because I think I'm being a little bit too polarizing lately, but like a lot of therapeutic work doesn't work. Like talk therapy is the most common example of this, is that you just talk about the same thing over and over and over again, where you're actually perpetuating the problem. You give people get given labels. I've had clients come to me. I was given a label 20 years ago and I haven't been able to break through it because they're reinforcing the label. That's the beliefs. You reinforce what you believe. So it's like, I want to break people out of limitations. That's like one of my biggest passions, because I got diagnosed with Asperger's, autism, ADHD, and anxiety. So because I believed all of them, that was my reality. Now, is there some truth to it? Of course, I'm a bit quirky, I'm a bit weird sometimes. I think a little bit differently. But when you believe the label becomes the limitation. That's the prison you now live in. So I'm shattering people's limitations of the prisons they've been either given from other people or they've just come up with themselves. That's the work that I love doing the most. And at the moment, it's really cool. So I'm about to do this literally. So it's Tuesday today. We got our 3-day event on Friday. So Friday's self-mastery. So we do values, purpose, mission, vision. And Saturday, day 2, is all transformation. So we do a belief process, we do a trauma process, and we do an emotional release process with Georgia doing her bowls. And in the balancing process, which is my favorite one, I'm literally walking around one at a time. So there's certain questions I have to get to, but I don't let them move on to the next step until they've done it properly, because some people can bullshit the process. Where with me, I look you in the eye and I make sure you fucking got it. So you can't, because I'll ask them the question and you can, they'll like, Tints is like, nah, you haven't got it yet, keep going. So, but like when they get it, it's so beautiful, man. It's like you look at, because words are the locks and the keys. So all I'm doing is putting the right keys and the right locks and unlocking them. And by the end of it, people's hearts are open. They're crying. The next day on Sunday, we get people to go up the front and share their experience of doing the balancing process. And people like, haven't had love for my dad for 30 years because of what he did for me. And I actually felt love for the first time for him. And it's like, I'm crying too. I'm like, this is fucking phenomenal. And then that resistance in their life is gone. Then they'll have better love, better connection, better sex, better business. Like everything gets better because the resistance is gone. So that's the work I love, as you can probably tell.
Man, that's beautiful. My question though is like, it's something that you're so passionate about. You're all in with this, and I can see it in your voice, man, your tone and everything. Yeah. My mentor always said to me, your goal is in 12 months. So why can't you do it in like a week or a day? Or what's stopping you? Like, there's a block? There's a hurdle there. Yep. And if you ask me, like my mindset, I always think like my goal is to get to, let's say, $3, $4, $5 million. But why can't I do it now? Like, what's that thing? What's the thing I need to address to get through it and move past it? Yep. So my question to you is like, you know, you're so passionate about what you're doing. You got events. I hear you should be filling out events of like thousands, not 100. Yep. So, dude, what's the block, bro? Like, because you want to impact more people. You want to have more, like, you want to save more people, help more people, which is amazing. Trauma, everyone's got trauma. There's a lot of hurt at the moment in the world. But in my mind, because I've got the execution mind, I'm thinking, okay, there's thousands, millions of people that have trauma that need help. But then it's like, Lewis is only helping 100 people in a room at a time. Like, what's stopping you from like filling out rooms like Tony or like big speakers?
It's probably the dance I'm playing, because I've seen it with Tony and with Kerwin. I didn't want to build a business that relied on me having to be on stage to do it. It's like Kerwin's a perfect example, and Kerwin unfortunately passed last year, but I was in his mastermind, and it's like key person risk. He actually taught key person risk, and he was key person risk in his business. He got literally sick, had strokes, and he eventually obviously passed, and his whole business was built on him. So I've been resistant to building it that way, where I only run events and that's the only way. Because what if I get sick? What if you have a kid and I don't want to go run events? It's like I've had that in the back of my mind. Now that I've built school and that's actually running smoothly and consistently, I've got more capacity and space to do that. I think the belief I'm still dancing with is how do I build it without burning out? That's probably the answer I'm looking for. I don't have a perfect answer to it. So there'll be a belief, or it feels like a belief, not necessarily. So perceptions are traits or labels, and then beliefs are repeated thoughts. So it feels like a belief that if I go to a certain level, I'll burn out. I think that's my belief right now. and figuring out, because that's not enough. And how do you get rid of beliefs? You just step into a world without that belief.
Exactly.
So you say, how does your life change without that belief? Then you literally will step into another world with it. So for me, it's having structure and a plan to do that, because it's like I'm building that at the moment. So it's like I'm growing with it, but I'm not like going from 0 to 100. I go like from 0 to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40. So I think I will get to that level. It's just finding that healthy pace to go out instead of going like 0 to 100 and burn out. It's like going to 10 to 20 to systemize and delegate and all those things. So it's definitely a skill gap as well, like having the skills to do that, because I don't have all those skills right now. I'm working with mentors and stuff to obviously upskill with that stuff. So having the skills to do it, and then finding that happy balance of like how much is fulfilling to me and how much do I want to versus I want to chill out and not have to do it. So that's my world at the moment, man.
Mate,
thank you for asking a question.
Of course, man. Let's finish with something really strong. What's been the biggest, when you ask the same question to me, what's been the biggest business lesson you've learned this year?
This year?
That's impacted your business. Something, it could be a skill, it could be something that happened that was wrong and you learned it as a lesson. It could be like potentially a gap in skills, but it was like a lesson that had a lot of impact in your business from a good level or bad level. And what would that be for you?
Make the product so good that you can't fail. That would probably be like, I've heard it before, but it's like doing it now. It's like, if you're not getting referrals, repeat business, people raving about you, people talking about you, you're not as good as you think you are. So like, I love Hamosi using that example. It's like, if he was to build a cafe and sell burgers, he would put all his focus on making that burger so fucking good. As soon as you take the first bite, you're like, holy shit, this is the best burger I've ever had. I need to tell all my mates about that, because if you get that right, the rest is easier. If you've got something that's shit and you try to scale and systemize and hire and do all that for a shit product, it's going to be very hard. So for me, it's spending more time, because it's the more, better, new. I am guilty, like a lot of entrepreneurs. What's new? Shiny, new system, new offers, new things. It's like, why don't you just make the thing that you're doing even better, so your churn goes down? So my churn went from 30% down to 9% on school, because I was,
that's good, man.
It was a huge shift, because Hamosi woke me up. He said, if you're not doing onboarding calls because you think it's unscalable, shut the fuck up and do them.
Yeah, it's like, so important, huh?
I was like, yes, sir. So I started doing that. I rejigged my systems around. I'm redoing my money models. I'm in Hamosi's world at the moment. And
nice.
So I'm restructuring my business at the moment. But yeah, just making the product so good. So like, I've got like every day there's more testimonials coming through now. So product's good. It obviously can get better. The events, like I spent all day yesterday, today, tomorrow, outside this conversation, just getting ready for the event this weekend, just to, again, make the transformation and the experience phenomenal. But yeah, just make your product so good. If your product is good, whether it's your content, whatever you're selling, just if it is that good that once people work with you, you've changed their life forever, the rest will be so much easier. So rather than like, what's the TikTok trend that's going to get me more views? It's like, that's not the biggest lever in my opinion. Get your product phenomenal, make it phenomenal, and then the rest is so much easier.
Powerful.
Thank you, brother.
Powerful.
What's yours, actually? Let's finish it for you. Same question. What's been your biggest lesson in 2025 for business?
For me, it's the biggest thing. Two lessons. One is like mission, vision, values in a company and an actual business. And I think about it this way: like, if you're the captain of the cruise ship, like, so you're the guy, you're the person, you're driving the ship. So there's three things. There's a vision, mission, and values. So the vision is like when everybody jumps onto the boat. It's like, where are they going? What's the island? Like, what's the actual vision? And most of the time, the captain goes from driving the boat to then going into like all the other rooms, checking on, so ordering food, giving, like, he's not the captain. And then everyone loses sight of the actual vision. So everyone's heading to a destination that's either unknown or it's not connected to them. What I've learned with business now, it's like, you've got the vision of the company, of the actual business, and then you've got the vision of each person. So like, the reason why they're heading to the island, some could be to drink pina coladas, some could be their wakeboard, some could be to surf, some could be to hang out with their friends. That's cool. So like, you've got to connect the vision of them to the island, right?
I like it.
Number one. And then for me, it's like the mission. So why are they jumping on the boat in the first place? So what's the actual mission? What do we want to achieve? Like, I always think about mission as that way. Like, why is everybody on the boat in the first place? And the values, which I think the values has been really a big thing for me integrating, because leaders go first, right? For me in my mind. So I always lead by example. So the values is not something like, hey guys, on a Google Doc, check it out. That's like, authenticity, integrity, transparency, radical transparency. That's one thing, but it's like, how do you actually deliver that on a day-to-day basis? So you got to show up. You got to train people. You got to have people that respond to each other. So when everyone's on the boat together, heading to the vision, to the island, how are they reacting with each other? What are the values? What's important to them? Like, how are they treating each other? You know, so I really started to understand for that one, how do I bring everything in terms of a business and have that on a day-to-day basis, consistency.
Totally.
Then my second thing I learned this year, which I think has been a really cool lesson, something I've done, I would say, my whole life, and I didn't really understand how things worked for me in this sense, but in terms of like, I call it relationship capital. So like developing a relationship, because everyone's busy, everyone's got their own stuff going on. So like, how do you find and how do you connect with, you know, people that are like top tier in their game, like entrepreneur, the business, like the best of the best, and how do you actually keep delivering value, and how do you keep like collecting, I would call capital, how do you keep being like in their world, in their inner circle, in the circle of influence for long enough to like actually have a developed relationship with them? Because some of the clients I work with, they got like, you know, millions of followers, but then they're working with me.
Yeah.
Or some clients have like all the friends, all the coaches, but then they're working with me. So it's like, why? Because of that process I put together, a big lesson for me this year. Because some people can't do it. Yeah. Some people come in, go out of my life so quickly. Sometimes they message me, you know, like they message me, they chat, they connect, or maybe they're in my life intensively, and then they just vanish, they ghost. So I think people don't, like, I think just in this space right now, because everybody's wanting to take, you know, it's always like, hey, I can help you scale your business to 10K per month. And everyone's just like, it's a weird space, but no one's actually saying, hey, how do I actually develop this relationship with this person? What's important to them? And how can I keep being in the circle of influence, their ecosystem, for a long time? That's going to keep compounding. So then it's not a short-term play, it's a long-term play. Like what I'm doing today in business and people I'm working with, it's not just like the last month, it's for a long time, it's like for years, because it's developed over time.
It's something I've seen you do really well, because we bump into each other sort of every couple of months or so. And your ability to just keep those meaningful relationships with who you connect with, and you put conscious effort to meet those people and to build relationships with them.
Sure.
From the outside looking at, man, looks like you're doing a great job.
Appreciate it, brother. Mate, that's a wrap, dude. Let's get it.
Let's do it. Thank you, brother.
Enjoy your event, brother.
I shall. I'm going to go chill out and relax.
Amazing.